with a rifle poised, waits. The cheers of the crowd almost muffle the 3 shots. The assassin's aim is deadly.
The JFK assassination ushered in the most turbulent era in recent American history. As issues of race and class tore at the fabric of society, the Black Panthers and others turned to guns and the Second Amendment for protection, according to the former chair of the Black Panther Party, Elaine Brown.
We believe we had the right of self-defense against an occupying army, as we saw it, of police. So we decided that we weren't going to play the native people who tried to fight fairly with combat. We decided that the only way we could defend ourselves with the same weapons that were being used against us.
In early 1967, the Black Panthers organized armed patrols through the poorest neighborhoods of Oakland, California, an act that some call the beginning of the modern gun rights movement. At the time, California law permitted citizens to carry loaded weapons so long as they were visible. When the state legislature took up a bill to prohibit individuals from carrying loaded weapons, the Panthers, heavily armed, entered the state capitol to demonstrate for their right to bear arms.
We went to the legislature to protest the gun law that was being debated at the time, and we felt that if there was a right to bear arms under the Second Amendment, then we should have a right to bear arms. And that violence and the gun ultimately were used to keep us enslaved and keep us oppressed, then the only logical response to that is to talk about self-defense. And we believed and felt that it was important for us as a people to recognize that if we were ever to be free, we may have to engage in a struggle that would become violent.
The Panthers were disarmed when then-Governor Ronald Reagan signed a new state gun control law. The U.S. Congress followed suit by passing the 1968 Gun Control Act. The legislation denied weapons to felons, minors, and the mentally ill. This new effort to regulate guns was bipartisan. Even the Nixon White House called for new regulations. But an old player with a new focus was now on the scene.
The anti-gun movement, if you will, was ecstatic at that time. They thought they were on a roll. What they didn't realize was that they had managed to wake up gun owners, sportsmen, hunters, and the like in this country in a way that they hadn't had to be wakened before.
The National Rifle Association had shifted its 100-year-old priorities from hunting and conservation to gun rights. We
had to take this fight because there was nobody else in the country that could do it. And that was the emergence of what some call the new NRA. The NRA that's seen very visibly as the champion of the Second Amendment.